Excuse me 1 second, y'all. I have a call. Ladies and gentlemen, brief interruption. We have the Stranglehold Championship Wrestling Class of 2020. Give it up for Queball.
Thanks. Love it.
Queball, you're on live with story time about the late Mike Money.
I got you.
Tell us a Mike Money story, Q.
Oh man. Hell, I'm trying to think of a good, funny one, but hell, every time you're around Mike, it's always enjoyable and have a good time, and he usually pays for your food, so I mean that's always great.
Yeah, tell us about some of your rivalries with Mike and some of your partnerships with Mike. Talk about time. You know what? Talk about time when you were booker for AWN.
Now that was a good time. Of course, about the same time I took over the book, we reassembled Money Incorporated. And
right.
Of course, I was a big part of that with Mike as well, so I got to work with him hands-on backstage and in front of the audience.
Yep. That was a good time. I tell you, I think the funniest moment y'all had together was the Halloween costume match. I seem to remember that pretty well.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
Well, we already did.
We did on the previous podcast. Y'all want to see that episode, the Dr. Quack podcast, where we interview Queball. You guys will love that story. But anyway.
Right.
Continue, please, sir. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, man, but it was great. Like I said, we brought back Money Inc., and then, of course, we had me and Dirty Don were a part of that. We did some good things. Money Inc. dominated probably a good 6 months there.
Oh, yeah.
Before it went downhill. But, man, Mike's the best manager you could ever ask for. He had it. He could have done it at any level.
Absolutely. And without him, we wouldn't be where we are today. That's for sure.
And he had a way of interacting with the crowd. And, I mean, man, he could get the crowd hot when he was heel. Boy, could he get them hot.
Oh, yeah. And you can take that to the bank. Boy, I'll never forget that.
Yeah, it made my job a lot easier, although I had no problem at all in doing that myself. But Mike made it very easy. It was very fun to come to work, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, we're all still trying to wrap our minds around this. Wow.
Yeah, it's a shocker, man.
You have anything you want to say to our audience?
I mean, for those of you that know him, there ain't much I gotta say. I mean, he was just like if you ever met him outside of wrestling. He's a straight up nice guy, but the nicest guy you could ever be friends with. And if there was anything you ever needed, especially if it's one of his boys, he would help you out, take care of you. I'm sure Danny Horne's got a bunch of stories on that as well.
Oh yeah, he's sitting right here.
I mean, he took care of his people, and that's the best thing about Mike Money. And I was the booker that I made Mike Money pay some money to bring some talent in. I said, Mike, you gotta pay money to make money.
That's right.
He always used to get mad at me, but he knows at the end of the day that, I mean, that's the truth. You got to.
I know one of Mike Money's influences was the great Ted DiBiase. I said, hey, just remember what Ted DiBiase always says, Mike. Everybody's got a price.
Right, exactly. And and for everybody that didn't know Mike, man, you missed out. Especially if you're a wrestler today and you never worked for Mike Money, I feel bad for you because I mean he's by far.
Or even been on a show, with him. I mean, like I said, class of 2020 Hall of Fame, along in the same night as Dirty Don.
Yep.
Slaughter Pit.
The same night as Dirty Don. Dirty and I spoke last night when I came down the middle of Georgia to see a few people, and he shared some pictures online. We can post some of those once we edit this video.
Right.
If anybody's got any pictures they want to share, any stories to call, the number is 770-601-2521. I will take calls. Please keep it professional, keep it clean. We can be funny. We can add a little extra humor here and there, but
and if you have any disrespect for Mike Money, do not call.
Exactly.
All right, you might have a truckload show up to your place, so we can go research that number.
Exactly.
Hell, a truckload, huh?
Right.
Way more.
Right.
Mike Money. Of course, there's a lot of folks that may not know this. Mike Money was also a founding father of Stranglehold Championship Wrestling. Right after we did Star City WrestleFest in Virginia, Mike came in and said, let me help you get started. Right after we did our Call to Arms show, he's like, Fort Valley needs you. He's like, don't need nobody else, it needs you. He said, I'm going to broker this deal where you get that building. If it wasn't for COVID-19, we would have not only lost our building, we sure as hell wouldn't have lost Mike Money.
Right.
And for those of you out there, tell your loved ones each and every day, never leave anything unsaid. Always tell them that you love them. Always cherish them. Because you never know when that day's going to come.
Definitely.
Is there anything else, sir?
No, man, not right off the top of my head. Man, a lot of this, I'm sure, is still sinking in. It's not real.
I wish that were so, my friend.
Right? Amen on that.
If you want to spread the word to the troops, tell them to call in. We've dedicated this whole block of time to have this time and fellowship, and of course, for those of you who can get to Central Georgia next Sunday at 3 p.m., we will be at the Denny's in Byron. Because that was a tradition in Fort Valley Wrestling. Whether you were at AWN or at Stranglehold, we always went to that Denny's after every show, and usually stayed till they kicked us out.
And if you were ever riding with Mike Money, you're going to go to the Denny's.
Oh yeah,
and he's going to fit the bill.
Shoot. There were several times we had the whole conference room. There had been 40, 50 people in there, and Mike just said, you know what? Just put it on my bill.
Right.
And there's a lot I learned from him. There's a lot he learned from me. He every time I wanted to walk away from this business, he said, now you won't let me walk away. Why should I let you?
Right.
He said, you drug me back in this. He said, you're staying here.
Right.
I said, all right, let's get to work. He said, no, man your battle stations. He loved bringing that up. But listen, we're gonna close the line here for a little bit and continue on. Queball, thank you for calling in.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem.
Again, for all of you watching, 770-601-2521. For those of you who have a great Mike Money story, please give me a call. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to share it with you. And we'll go from there. Queball, till next time, my man.
Yes, sir. Love you guys, man. Y'all take it easy. Danny, what's up, man? Y'all take it easy. Stay
Hey,
healthy.
brother. Love you too, brother.
Yes, sir. Tell Becky to get better for me. I know she just come out of that surgery.
Yes, sir.
All righty, man. We'll holler at y'all later.
Bye, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Later.
All right, on the line we have the doctor, the infamous Dr. Quack, joining us on the Stranglehold podcast.
Hey, what's up, man?
Dr. Quack, well, of course, came along towards a different era of Mike Money when we did the AW and expansion project. When I left you guys in 07 and started my travels. Dr. Quack here got us set up in Tennessee and helped me fix the problems in West Virginia. So, Doc, you got any Mike Money stories?
Mike Money stories. I mean, you know, probably the most fondest memory I'll remember with Mike is probably the trip to Memphis.
Yeah, when we went to Tennessee? Yeah, Jerry Lawler's deal?
Yeah, you know, I mean, Mike was a caring man.
Yes.
He really was. He was a man that looked out for pretty much everybody. You know, he did so much, you know, for what he could do. I mean, he ran a great Fed. You know, he was always there if you needed to bend an ear.
Yeah. Yeah, I was actually brought up earlier. The Big Cross Promotion show we did, I believe I was talking to Mike's ex-wife about that situation when we all came in and we basically CJ Austin, if you're listening to this ain't a poke, brother. But basically, when we got a bigger pop in their champion at the time, and we got to showcase some really, really good talent there. We got to do something way different that the AWN crowd wasn't used to.
Oh yeah.
So actually, listening in, you have Dangerous Danny Horne, you have Chris Paradise, you have my production supervisor William Bullock, and of course you have the $1 Million producer Mr. Gavin Campbell.
Oh yeah.
And we got our esteemed head of security Mr. Greg Stansel, along with the people that make this dream possible. We're all here, we're all fellowshipping, we're all telling stories, and you know, man.
I mean, I'll never forget waiting in that fast food restaurant for that food for almost 2 hours.
A&M, I think it was.
We went to A&W.
Oh, A&W, yes, yes. When we were coming back down, and we stopped at A&W, we ended up getting what, $80 for the free food.
Yeah, oh my God.
Cheesecake.
And Mike's just looking at me, shaking his head, saying, "You must really want some A&W."
Hey, it's pretty good.
Hey man, $80 worth of free food, and they kept giving us more stuff, and we were only supposed to have one refill. We just kept like, "Yeah, man, I need some more drink, man."
Real cheese curds.
Oh
Yeah,
God, cheese curds.
I remember that with him, and you know, just the whole time up there, man. He was just so calm.
Oh man, he was just like, and of course when we got to dinner, yeah, I hated that band that was playing. Oh Lord.
Mike Money was always calm. It's just whenever.
You never really, you never seen him spaz out. You never seen him freak out. You know, he always kept a collected head.
The only time he did get a little freaked out whenever it was showtime.
Yeah.
He started to sweat a little bit then.
Well, it was go time, dude. I mean, it was go time.
Yeah.
You know, and he was in battle stations mode. He like tell me I always man my battle stations.
Yeah, I mean, it was an honor to be able to do the shoot interview with him.
Yep. That was also Chris Paradise's debut.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, being able to listen to his story. I mean, a guy that was in the military and retired and went into the world of professional wrestling.
Well, he actually managed to balance the military and wrestling, like myself, and like many of us that are behind the founding of Stranglehold Championship Wrestling, which separates us from everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, I still feel like this whole thing's a bad dream, man. I just
Yeah, I can't believe it. You know.
I've been sitting here just trying to process it. I mean, even telling the stories and talking about him in the past tense has been well, it's been a little unnerving, to say the least. Trying to keep my shit together over here, y'all, and what can I say? But hey, don't you remember when he was when we brought in Jim Cornette and we did Star Seed at WrestleFest?
Oh boy, Martha and Mary, how can I forget?
Hey, they had the most entertaining table, did they not?
They did.
I'm
They
gonna tell
had
you.
each other
Santana
fucked.
brought some jumper cables.
They were just feeding off each other, dude. Mike Money and Jim Cornette. Boy, you didn't get no more classic than that.
Yeah, that
was
would be funny.
it was hilarious, man. I was also the time that we basically did a send off for George Animal Steel. We had no idea that it was going to be his last, but he was pretty confident that it was. And he pretty much told me if you or anybody else, he told me at dinner after, meeting with Mike more extensively, because Mike insisted that we all take George to dinner somewhere nice. And of course he paid for it. Like y'all heard Queball say right before Doc called in that Mike loved to take care of business for his boys, always. And he wanted to give George Animal Steel that same hospitality. Mike said, George said, of Mike, he said, you learned from a pretty good guy. He started you off on the right path. Stick by this guy. He may not have all the answers. You may not have all the answers, but you guys make a good team.
Yeah.
George thought very well of him, and pretty crazy how. Yeah, because I think that's when you were starting your party. Oh, I'll never forget this Dr. Quack story from the road. So, it's a hotel room. It's two women, Dr. Quack, Wildfire Tommy Rich, and Tito Santana. So I think y'all disappeared to start the festivities without me. While I was going to have a nice dinner with the animal, you guys headed up to the Howard Johnson up there on the mountain.
Good old Howard Johnson.
Yeah, room 214. I'll never forget that phone call.
That's right.
3 in the morning, I'm just finishing off a great night, with the Pinup Queen of the Universe. And I get a damn phone call. They say, come get your people in room 214. I'm looking through my book. Me with my damn book, like, okay, who's where and what's what. I was like, oh, fucking Quack. That's all I could get out of my mouth. And I think Mike had actually was still when I went to go outside to take the call, Mike came out to see who was out there talking on the breezeway there. He's like, what's going on? I said, Quack and Santana and Tommy Rich up there. Freaking partying it up.
It was a good time.
Hey, you know what we always say, man, just because it's a bad idea don't mean it won't be a good time, right?
Exactly.
I use that, for the record, folks, I use that very same line on Mike quite a few times, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know you were there for some of that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, man, I hate to cut it short, but we're going to resume our broadcast here. Thank you for calling in and contributing.
Yeah, man, I mean, dude, he was a great man. That's what I can tell you. He was a great man. He cared about people. He's going to be missed.
Oh, yeah, this is not going to be able to get over this one, I'm afraid.
Not for a long
I understand, man.
time.
Well, you have a good time there. I'm going to hop off.
We'll see you, Doc.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, joined by 2 alumni, Queball and Dr. Quack. Remember the call-in number, 770-601-2521. If you out there want to share your Mike
Come
Money
on, man.
stories.
Pick up the phone. Call in.
Let's have a little fun with it. Let's definitely lighten the mood if we can. Oh, wait a minute. Time out. Ladies and gentlemen, Stranglehold Championship Wrestling Hall of Famer Dirty Don on the line. Dirty Don, welcome to the Stranglehold podcast. Hello, can you hear me?
Got it on speaker.
What's going on, fella?
There we go.
Dirty Don.
There he is, Dirty Don. One half of
Everybody
the.
doing?
Well, you know,
Kinda
One
late,
third.
but
we're doing what we can. How about yourself?
what's up, Danny Horne?
What's going on, Dirty?
So we have the man, Dirty Don, who was inducted.
Man, just trying to make it, bro.
We have the man, Dirty Don, who was inducted the very same night as Mike Money into the Stranglehold Championship Wrestling Hall of Fame. Well, you want to share some stories with us, Dirty? Hello? Dirty, I think we have a bad connection. Can you hear me?
Man, hold on a second. Let me get this right, bro.
I promise this is not a Verizon commercial.
Better now.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have Dirty Don. I think we are. They were green for gold here. Oh, hello. Maybe not.
We can edit this out in post.
Look who I've run into, folks. The head of the Dr. Quack podcast, Dr. Quack himself. Welcome to Flashback Games.
I'm telling you, thank you for introducing me to this place. This
Absolutely.
is definitely top of the line here. If you get a chance, you're down here in Marietta, Georgia, check out all the great games they got here, and the staff is super friendly. Love this place. Give it 2 fingers up, actually, right there.
Hey, let's show them your favorite games here in the arcade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
There's so many great games here. I mean, you had Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I'm telling you, I was playing this last week. Definitely one of my favorites here. I mean, definitely, you get the gun here. You're just firing away. You're going at it. You know, I mean, there's so many awesome games here. I mean, look, you have X-Men here. Definitely one of the great ones. So many Ultra Beasts. I mean, even here, look at this. Let me show you. And I'm almost, what, 5 minutes? Look, we stand next to Galaga. And oh my God, I'm telling you, I feel like a kid again.
Like I said, you can't beat it, folks. The low price of just $11, come and play all the games you want. What do you say, Doc? Is that a deal or what?
That is a deal.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
What a mercy.
Back after these messages.
Hey, man, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're back after those commercial messages. So, Dirty, you got a Mike Money story to share with great people watching from home today.
Man, y'all talk about Mike not blowing up. I got one for you. So, if you remember right, you had them kids from Cox Communications come over that did the show on TV there.
Oh, yeah.
And they wanted to film some real wrestling. So, I remember we had Mike gave us the building on a Sunday afternoon, and y'all booked up a heck of a show. And it happened to have me, Spaz, Phenom, and Biscuit.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the original Bloodbath.
Yeah, that's the original Bloodbath. I think Danny wrestled somebody. I can't remember who wrestled that day, but you know, you invited all the guys over there to help put this on, and we all wanted to be on TV.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I remember refereeing a barbed wire fence match.
Yeah.
I remember a certain,
Everything was going really smoothly during this match. You know, we all was taking big bumps and having a good time. I took a nice suplex on the floor, and everything was running all good until Phenom grabbed the dang light and decided he was going to bust it over Spaz. And I think Mike went 3 ways from Sunday that
Oh, no, that wasn't Spaz. He hit Biscuit with it.
No, he hit Biscuit with it. That's,
Yeah, Biscuit was the one that took the light tube.
I don't think I've ever seen Mike so mad in my entire career.
And he was mad because glass went towards the crowd.
Went towards the crowd, and I think he had told them not to use the glass to begin with, but you know, Phenom like, hey man, you know, gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Gotta do what you gotta do to make it look good.
And of course, Biscuit was like, and of course, here's Biscuit over there. Do me. Okay, crack. You know.
Yep.
That you know, I have to say from somebody who was wounded after taking a Death Valley driver into barbed wire. I wonder who did that, Dirty.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
I don't know who that was, Dirty. That Death Valley driver might into some barbed wire. But you know, I was over there licking my wounds, and you know, from the angle I saw that shot, that was a pretty good shot.
Hey, Eric, I could tell you a story about Dirty Don. about how Dirty was scared to take a chair shot from me one time, and I was doing the concerto. Remember that, Dirty?
You know, Danny, me and you got along so well because I could trust you about as far as I could hold you back. But there were times we was too good of friends that I was afraid you was going to fuck me up. And
I'm going to have a drink on this one.
Man. You know?
Never would fuck you up. Maybe scare you a little bit, but never would fuck you up.
I know. You took care of
Sorry about the language.
The faces are going to be flying
Yes,
everywhere.
we will be editing this, y'all. So.
Oh, my bad. You know Dirty Don's on, there's going to be some foul language.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man. Mike was a trip, dude. You know, like I said, a lot. You got to see it, and Queball really got to see it. Because Mike would come over there and sit. Well, Mike would actually start over there on the wall by the crowd. And then it was kind of like looking up, and like Mike was shape-shifting and just like looked across the room. You'd look up, he'd be one chair closer. He'd be like 3 chairs closer. And then next thing you know, he's sitting down right beside you.
Yep.
And he talked about the show, you know, the whole time we were doing it, and added his, you know, it'd be great to have some of that stuff on the mic because of some of the funny stuff he said while the show was going on.
You know,
He always had me rolling over there.
I was looking at some of the stuff you posted on social media previously. You know, at every show we are going to have an empty chair for Mike Money by that table.
Yep.
Nobody's going to sit in Mike's chair.
That's his favorite place to end up at.
And he always gave his honest assessment of what he saw, who he liked, who he didn't like, what he didn't like about who. And it was always.
You know, speaking of which, that brings up another funny Mike story.
Uh-oh.
So, y'all all remember Joey Kidman, right?
For the most part. Well, there's a few of us here that unfortunately didn't get the privilege. You guys would have loved him.
I would have loved
Joey
him in
ended
an
up
entrance
becoming
for
a very good worker. But he was, when he came in green, I think he was like 17 years old. When
Yep.
he started. 16 or 17.
Yeah, he had the Ultimate
And,
Warrior paint stuff on.
And he ran some kind of Russian gimmick.
Oh, yeah, there was that one, too.
And Joey was all about the pop, man. He wanted to get that crowd over. I forgot what he did one night, but that was the other time I seen Mike got blown. He come back there cussing out me and Queball about booking a 16-year-old kid on his show, and that he can't be out there talking to his fans like that. And I don't remember everything that went off, but Mike was hot.
Yeah, I was actually I was actually in town. I was actually in town that night. I do remember that conversation.
But he like cussed some lady out, or not cussed her out, but he was giving her the business, man, and got a little sexual with the reference, I think.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, man.
You know what was funny is the Gary head with a smiley face with a tongue that was right on his junk.
Yeah. And that big furry hat.
Oh God.
And that's
Yeah.
about all he wore. Yeah, but you know, that's probably the 2 times I seen Mike really get sideways. The rest of the time, it was just, you know, being a booker for Mike was a trip too, because he always started off everything. Now, I'm not going to have to tell you how to do your job, but and then he'll tell you how to do the job. You know?
Pretty much. That was Mike.
But yeah, man, so many good memories. You know, the biggest thing I appreciate is being one of the people that helped start getting wrestling back in the Fort Valley, you know, in 2000, 2001, was Mike picked up that at a time that, you know, we really wasn't around, that, you know, that Fort Valley was basically becoming non-existent at the end of, you know, that one era, and he really picked it up and ran with it, made it relevant again, and saved wrestling in Fort Valley. And that's the one thing I hate about us not being able to keep that building or that presence there in the town, is because of the love he had for that area and how much he put into the business, and how many opportunities. You know, I was looking at posts last night, how many people said that they got an opportunity to grow and become the wrestlers they are today because of Fort Valley, and that is going to be his legacy.
Well, I will say this, and you know, after I left you guys at Denny's last night, you know, I'm kind of like never say never on bringing back Fort Valley. Obviously, we'll need to make some improvements on some things, but I mean, let's face it, without it, none of this would exist.
Without Mike Money, without Grady Odom, none of us would exist.
Exactly. Well, Dirty, we appreciate you calling in. If you think of anything else, definitely chime in. But we're going to resume broadcast. Chris Paradise had a question for Danny here. We're going to get to that, and of course the number, y'all, 770-601-2521. Your best Mike Money stories. Hey, let's do it. But Dirty,
Take it easy, guys. Y'all later.
it was a pleasure, my man. Thank you.